Well, I told you that this would be an interesting video. And it's interesting because I don't know how many times I've tried to do it, and then I lose my gentle persona towards the end, and I start yelling and screaming and foaming at the mouth, and Bentley drags me out of the room. So I'm going to try it again. First of all, I guess I have to mention that the Portland police killed another person. So 2 videos, 2 dead citizens. They will get off. It's perfectly all right because the policeman felt he was threatened. It's a scary thought that you can be shot by a policeman and you have no rights whatsoever. All the policeman has to say is, I felt threatened, and therefore I shot them. And, oh, well, that's perfectly explainable. I mean, I feel threatened every time I see one of their damn Portland police cars. I try to stay out of the state of Oregon and Portland because I really don't like them, because they kill people indiscriminately and then they get away with it. It just seems wrong to me. I wish we could get the statistics of how many people have been shot by the Portland police, and maybe it would become something that would be noted by some of the large organizations that do news in this country. As a Catholic, I suppose I should say something about the problems going on in the church right now. Certainly messed up Easter, didn't it? See, I wasn't really fond of Pope Benedict when the College of Cardinals elected him Pope. I really think that Pope Benedict is, well, you know, I equate everything to dogs, because I live with a dog. Pope Benedict is like a Rottweiler. John Paul II was a little like a Labrador Retriever. John Paul II did great wonders for the church, bringing young people back. You knew he cared. That's not the way Benedict is. Whether he cares or not, I don't know. I do know that he had run an office that involved itself with problems dealing with the priesthood. And he had to know things that probably were not things that the Pope should be that aware of. I just thought it was the wrong person, the wrong background to be the Pope. Now, we could go into a lot more detail on that, but suffice it to say, I was concerned about this issue, and now it is becoming an issue in the news. And whether it will continue to be an issue, I don't know. And the church trying to deal with it, so far they haven't done very well. Though I don't know that Easter would have been the best time for the Pope to be talking about that. But I can't, you know, I'm a worm. I can't explain what they're doing. It's like when a child dies and some parent says, why did God take my child? You know, I don't have an answer. Maybe because God loves them but doesn't love you? I don't know. I mean, it's one of these leads to a dry spot in faith. At the worst time in my life, I shouldn't have it, but I do. It's a mingling of church and state. That's what we're asking here. And the two things don't work well together. In fact, it's impossible for the two things to work together. You see, Christians, I wish I could define to you what a Christian is. See, there was one Christian church for a long time, and then someone decided that divorce was a good idea, but the church said it wasn't. So they wrote their own Bible, started their own church, and then a bunch of churches split from that, and that led to other churches, and now we have a gazillion churches, every one formed because they had something they didn't agree with in the Bible. That's the only reason you would start another church. Otherwise, everything would be fine. So we have no standard for who can preach, who can be the minister. We have some ministers that believe abortion is a sin and you'll go to hell if you do it, and it's okay to kill babies. Other churches say that. Of course, then the churches that are opposed to the abortion, there are people in that church that go kill the doctors. So everybody gets killed. Well, Christianity isn't involved in that. Killing is just wrong. See, that's what I believe. We can't be a Christian nation, because which Christian church do we follow? The Catholic? What about the Jewish church? They believe in God. What about Buddhists? They're very devout. There's too many of them, and they can't all be right. The Bible talked about a Tower of Babel, and that's what religion has become today, I'm sorry to say. As far as the nation is concerned, it's hopeless too. We're supposedly a civilized nation, yet we have capital punishment. You have people that... One major party right now is trying to cut the benefits to those that are unemployed in this economy that's all screwed up because the government did nothing and allowed it to get screwed up. So we should, as a nation, follow Christian principles if we're a Christian nation. That means to feed the poor. It means to follow God's commandments. This nation has violated every single commandment that God has. And if the nation missed it, then the politicians themselves have violated them. And then our president has the audacity to say, God bless America. This is a great mistake. You do not play games with the creator of the universe, much more powerful than you. He deals in eternity. You deal in seconds and minutes. You are non-compatible with this creator. And keep smirking him, violating his commandments, Mr. Nation. And then question, why is everything going wrong? I can't answer those things. I just know we cannot mingle the two together. And we who profess to be Christians should act Christ-like and not just tell people we're Christians. They should be able to tell by listening to our words. Because one is eternal and the other is fleeting and going to fall apart. So it's a bad time for me to have a dry spot in faith. And I pray that it gets strong again. But I'm sick. But you know what? I'm much more sick about what I see within the supposed Christian community than I am with a cancer that eats within my bones.